You already seen my last video. It was the top 10 albums of 2018. Now, 2018 has been a great year for albums, especially hip hop and R&B. It's been a bunch of, there's some albums that I really love that I put off. Not really put off, but it just didn't make the cut. So I figured I'd make a quick honorable mentions of the albums that I did like, but it just didn't make my top 10. First one I'm going to talk about is Earl Sweatshirt, Some Rap Songs Now. I like Earl. I thought he was dope. I thought the album was really cool. I just didn't really come back to it. I just didn't think it was good enough to make the top 10, but I did think he had a good album. So with that being said, that's why I didn't make it. Jean Grae and Quelle Chris, Everything's Fine. Now, I really did like this album. I really did want to put this on the top 10 album because Jean Grae is one of my favorite, if not my favorite female rapper. And even though she's very underground, underrated, she is a dope lyricist. And I thought this album was really good for, you know, someone that females can listen to and like can really say that we have a dope lyricist besides Rhapsody. But the only problem is, even though I did like this album, I only come back to like 2 songs, and that's Gold, Purple, Orange, and The River. It's mostly Waiting on the Moon, but sometimes I go back to those last songs. And with that being said, even like the song like My Contributions to This Scam and some other songs, they're really good, but I kind of only go back for like 1 or 2 songs. Jack Harlow's Loose. I like Jack Harlow. I like some of the beats he did. Now, the only problem I had, he was like doing, in the middle of the album, it got a lot real sing-songy. Like he was trying to catch a radio hit or a SoundCloud hit. If it was more like the first 3 songs, I would really vibe with this album anymore. Even though I do like the sing-songy ones, but I like the song joints he did in the earlier ones, and I feel like if it was a bunch of those, it would have been a better album. Big Crit, he had about 3 EPs that dropped, and I thought they were all good. My only problem is there was just like 3 different EPs. I feel like he should have dropped this as an entire album instead of just 3 different EPs, because they're like 3 or 4 songs in each one. Now, though they're good songs, it's like I don't want to go back and like put them all and like go leave one album just to go to another Crit album. If he'd have just had it all in one go, this would have definitely made my top 10 list. Black Panther soundtrack. I listened to it earlier, but the more the time comes in other albums, because I started listening to Black Panther soundtrack less. I wanted to review it, but I just never got around to it. But I do think it's a dope soundtrack. It's one of the better soundtracks I've heard. But other than that, it's just I also never really went back to it. I think you're going to see a pattern there. Most of this is like replayability, or if I did go to it. So just so you know, Nipsey Hussle's Victory Lap, which is like on everybody's, probably like one of a lot of people's best rap albums that come out this year. And even I thought it was a great album, but at the same time, I didn't go back to it much. None of the songs, even though I liked them, they didn't bring, nothing on that album brought me back to it. Pusha T's Daytona, really dope album. I think it's one of Pusha's best albums. The thing about Pusha T's album, I wanted more from that album. I think when Ye wanted all of his artists to have like 7 songs just to put out, it was good. I think if I'd have got 10 from Pusha, it'd have probably been on the list. I don't know. Even though they're all good songs, it's just it being short that kind of like killed it for me. And the same thing with See Ghost with Kid Cudi and Ye album. Which is actually one of the few Kid Cudi albums that I like. Not a big fan of Kid Cudi, but I do see his influence in the rap game now, especially when, you know, people talking about their emotions more. I feel like Kid Cudi is a big part of that. It's probably like one song I kind of go back to, and that about it. Takeoff's Last Rocket. I thought that was one of the better Migos one, out of, at least between him and Quavo, and Culture 2, which I believe came out this year. And Culture 2 was okay, but it didn't like reach the heights of Culture One. Even though they do have radio hits like Stir Fry, it never really stuck around. And you could tell because I don't think a lot of people was really digging Culture 2 like they was the first Culture. Poison by Swiss Beats. I was really high on this, and it really showed. I was really high on this, but when I like really put it in the replay values, and I don't even think I've been back to this, even though I really like this album as a real hip hop album. But I also never really went back to this. Vince Staples FM. This album was cool, but I think the only problem is it got me excited about other people's project. Even though I like the concept of it's like a radio station and he has some hits on there. While listening to this album, I got more excited listening for Earl Sweatshirts and Tyga if Tyga drops an album this year. LMA I liked. I feel like none of the songs were for LMA. As I said in one of the earlier reviews, I feel like if you could put any other R&B singer from this generation, like a 7th Streeter or even a Tinashe, and give us those songs, giving them beats, I feel like you would get the same type of songs. And that was the problem I had with the album. I feel like the ones that she came out with the Booed Up, Tripping on You, I feel like those songs were more of her lane. And maybe this was just me, she sounded too American. Like British singers, people like Elton John and Adele, like you can still kind of like hear the British sounds in them. But LMA, when she sings, she sounds very American. So when she throw that British accent, it kind of throws you off too. So I feel like this album needed her UK swag and it didn't have any in it. But it's still a great album. I feel like people should listen to it. Mac Miller, Swimming. First off, rest in peace, Mac Miller. Gone too soon. I really wish he was clean. I really wish he was clean. I wish he didn't go out that way. And I feel like this was Mac Miller's best album too. And tell you the truth, when I was going through this list, this album didn't even pop up. Which is a shame because like even going through I reviewed this on my website, oscinosworld.squarespace.com. I even reviewed this on the website. I gave it a good review and I liked it, but when I was going through it kind of like slipped my mind. So with that being said, Travis Scott, Astro World. I didn't really like it at first. More as I listened to it, it got better. Sicko Mode is everywhere. There's a bunch of like good tracks that came out of it. I like Yosemite, but at the same time, this album had to really grow on me. I didn't like it at first, so with that being said, I knew this wasn't going to make my top 10, but still a good listen. Alina Baraz, The Color of You. This is also a good album, even with the stupid. Her people finding her tweets, I think, of her racist shit. But besides all that, that was a good album too. She got some really good love-making songs too. If you haven't listened to that one, check that out. Some real good lovey-dovey love-making tracks on there. Keys and Crates, Cura. Obviously, if you've been listening to the background music, the song Glitter is probably one of my favorite songs of 2018. And the ending of it is what I use as my instrumental, as you will be hearing throughout this entire thing. That's what I've been using. If anybody wondered, that's what I've been using. But that's like the only song I go to. Even though Music to My Ears is really good, it's probably one of the only few Tory Lanez songs I like. I wanted to cheat in Prime with the voice of Book of Ryan because I like this album as much as I like the Book of Ryan. And I feel like they're both really good albums. DJ Premier is one of my favorite producers, and I think them two together make beautiful music. But if I had to choose one, I obviously go with the Book of Ryan. But Prime 2, definitely if you're a hip hop head, you should go check that out. And I really want people to know about this guy. And this is where I last leave it off. Now this came out in 2017, but not 2018. But I heard it in 2018 because I really like Terrence Martin. And Terrence Martin presents the Policies, Sounds of Crenshaw's Volume 1. It's a really good jazzy concept album. This would have been in my top 10 for sure because I go back to this a lot. But the only reason this is not on there because, like I said, it came out in 2017, and I really can't put this on there if it came out in 2017, not 2018. So with that, that's why Terrence Martin didn't make it, and that's about it. And that's about it. Every other album, like Lil Yachty or Queen, I really didn't like that much. If you're wondering about Nicki Minaj's Queen and Lil Yachty's, and even XXXTentacion, I really didn't like those much. That's why they're not here either. But other than that, that's it. Those are my honorable mentions. If any of those made your top 10, let me know. I would like to still hear people's top 10. And what albums are you looking forward to in 2019? Let me know in the comment section. Till then, I'm Oscino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.
Fuck a girl, fuck a woman, fuck a freaking, fuck a bitch. Fuck a bitch, fuck a bitch.